Hello friends, this is Nick from NOB Solutions, and today I'm going to show you how you can install DNS on Windows Nano Server Technical Preview 4. In this video I'm going to start by creating a new Nano Server VHD and will include the DNS role package. I will proceed doing that with the packages switch that is included in the Nano Server script, and you can combine multiple packages by creating a comma-separated list. After my Nano Server is up and running, I'm going to add the new DNS Nano Server to my Server Manager console on my domain controller, and from the Add and Remove roles and features, I'm going to install the DNS role on my Nano Server. After the role is done installing, I'm going to open the DNS Manager, and from there I'm going to add the Nano Server as a name server for my noblab.com zone, DNS zone. I'm going to configure the zone transfer settings to include a transfer to my DNS Nano Server. And at the end I'm going to create a secondary DNS zone and will transfer noblab.com zone to my Nano Server. So let's start with the demonstration. Yesterday, when I made the video for the Nano Server, I was not able to fully show how to add the new packages for the new roles that Microsoft included with the Technical Preview 4 of the Nano Server. And to be honest with you guys, I was not able to sleep well until I figured out how to do it. So today I've looked over to the TechNet article about the Nano Server, and I found the way how to do it properly. I made few tests, and with few mistakes I finally managed how to fully configure that script. So I want to show you that so you can try it yourselves at home and see what is the new functionality of the Nano Server. So what I'm going to do now is, just for testing purposes, I'm going to use the new script to deploy a new Nano DNS server, which later I'm going to use to replicate my NOBLab DNS zone to the Nano Server, and I will show you how you can use the Nano Server as a DNS server in your domain. So first, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to again open the ISO where I have the Nano Server. I'm just going to mount it as the H drive, and here you can see that I have the package for the DNS. I want to include that package, so I'm going to start a PowerShell ISE, run it as administrator. Don't forget to run it as administrator. That will make sure that your script is fully operational and running. And over here I have the convert Windows image script, the Nano Server image generator PowerShell module, which I'm going to import right now, and again the destination for my VHD, which is currently empty. So I'm waiting for my PowerShell script to open, and I'll show you what you need to do and what are the steps that you need to configure on your PowerShell script to import the new packages that came with the Technical Preview 4. As well, Microsoft are still updating their TechNet website. I can see that almost every day I have additional details. Unfortunately, I don't see any articles over the internet still for the Technical Preview 4, so I guess that this video will be one of the first that is showing you how exactly you need to do it. So I'm going to change the directory to my E partition where I have the scripts for the Nano Server. You can see here. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to import the module Nano Server image generator. Press enter, and after that I'm going to use the new Nano Server image. In there I'm going to specify the media path, This is the path where I have my Windows Server 2016 technical preview ISO mounted, which is the H drive once again. Next I need the base path, where the script will make a folder, and within that folder it will copy the packages, the Vim file. It's going to convert the Vim into a VHD. It's going to mount that VHD and import the package that or packages that I want, and later it's going to use that VHD to export to my destination path with my VHD that I want. So the base path is going to be, let's say, base, and after that I need the target path, which it's going to create the final version of the VHD. So I want that in Nano Server VHD, and the VHD will be called Nano DNS. Okay, I want to set the maximum size of that VHD. It's going to be set as dynamically expanding, so it will be around 600 megabytes, but I can set it to expand up to, let's say, 10 gigabytes, just for testing purposes. After that I'm going to specify the computer name, so that this command is going to rename my server. So as soon as I boot up the server, it will have the name that I specify here. So the name will be, for example, NLB-DNS01. I'm using this name because this is will be a part of my naming convention. So after that I will add the packages that I want. As I showed you yesterday, we don't have the direct package here as a string, so what you need to do, instead of using directly the ON drivers, for example guest drivers, you need to specify the string packages. Just before that I'm going to add the ON drivers, because I'm going to use a third-party software, a third-party hypervisor, to mount the Nano server. But if you are using a Hyper-V instead of drivers, you will need to add the guest drivers, the ON drivers. You need to add the guest drivers. The guest drivers work with Hyper-V, so instead of ON drivers you need to specify them. Next I'm going to specify the packages. And here is the thing, I've tried to use this switch, this string, to see what exactly do I need to do. And at the end I found that when you specify this string, it's looking into under the mounted media right here, under the Nano server, and under packages directly. So all we need to do is specify the name of the package that we need to import. In my case this is going to be the DNS package. So you don't need to add the .cap, it's going to add that automatically. So I'm going to paste only the name here, and at the end I'm going to add it to my domain, so that it can be more easy for me to manage, instead of going with PowerShell remoting and allowing only the IP of the server. I'm going to add it to my domain, where later I can add it to my domain controller server manager, for example, and I can manage that from there. So I'm going to specify a name for that server, which is going to be, again, I'm going to specify the domain here, I'm sorry, nlblab.com. Please note that in order for this switch to work, your domain controller should be reachable, so that it can contact the DC and within your Active Directory to create a record for your server. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to ask me for the local administrator password. Okay. And it's going to start copying the files. It's going to start creating the base at first. So if I go to here, you can see that now I have the base created. So it's going to create some additional folders. It's going to copy the WIM image. Under tools, I noticed that there are additional tools that are being copied over to convert this image, and it's the process from here. It's pretty much sitting and waiting for your VHD to be created. So I just want to show you real quickly how it is going to import my DNS package and OM drivers as I specified above. Now it started to add the Microsoft-NanoServer-DNS package to my VHD, and you can see that it's able to add with the string package. It's able to find that package and to add it directly. So this would help you to add the new packages that were presented in the technical preview 4. You can choose between several new ones like the IIS and like the Service Center Virtual Machine Manager if you want. I'm not sure. I think that the functionality is not 100% still, but they are presenting us with new technologies that we can work with and see and help them to see what are the things that are still needed for them to configure. And I'm going to pause the video here, so as soon as my virtual disk is created, I will show you the final result, and then I'm going to start my Nano server so we can proceed with enabling the DNS feature on it. Now that my image is completed, I'm going to show you the final result. Okay, here we have the final version of the base. This can be removed after you have your VHD Nano DNS. So yeah, I'm going to proceed with mounting that on my VMware workstation, and I'm going to power on the Nano server so we can start with configuring my DNS server settings. Okay, I've just started my Windows Nano server and I'm waiting it to boot for the first time. Let's see if my deployment was successful. It looks like it was. I'm going to use my NLB admin, domain admin account that I have to log into the server, and let's see if my DHCP was able to give my server an address, which it did. It's 10.0.0.130. So what I want to do is, instead of having a DHCP, again I'm going to open the IPv4 settings by pressing F11. I'm going to disable the DHCP by pressing F4, and then by pressing Tab I'm going to set the new IP address that I want for my DNS server, which for example is going to be 12, the subnet mask, and the default gateway. Press enter to save the settings twice, and now we are okay to start configuring my DNS server settings. So I'm going to switch to my DC now. Here under Active Directory users and computers, just for test, under computers container I have the NLB DNS01, so it is connected. And the first thing that you need to do here is you need to add the Nano server to your server manager console, because that way you'll be able to manage it more in an easier way. So let me start by adding that to my server manager console. So I'm going to right click on all servers, add server, find now. I'm going to specify the NLB DNS01 and press OK. And now I saw this error actually before, and this is because I don't have a record for my DNS server within my DNS console. So you can resolve this error by going into the DNS, your DNS, and creating the record manually. So I'm going to create a host A record and NLB dash DNS-01, and I'm going to specify the IP address 10.0.0.12, and I'm not going to create a reverse record, so I'm going to add that. And what I need to do next is I need to flush the DNS cache by using the command ipconfig flush DNS. Press enter. Okay, it successfully cleared the cache. So as soon as I press the refresh key once again, my Nano server should be online. Let me try to close the console and try to reopen it once again. Maybe that will make everything refresh once again. It's currently in progress. Okay, it's online now. I can see that I have some events from the Nano server itself. I can see that I have the services that are currently running on the Nano server. I can see that I have few services that are set on automatic, and of course the DNS server should be there, but not. What you need to do after you install the package, the DNS package, you need to go and enable the DNS feature on your Nano server. So you can do this by right clicking on your server, add roles and features, press next, next again, choose your Nano server, next, here you can see that it's even noticing that it's Windows Server 2016 Technical Preview 4 Tuva. Tuva is the code name for the Nano server. And now after we have the server roles, I can see that on my Nano server I have the file and storage services, which is already pre-installed, and I have the DNS server role, which is not enabled at the moment. So I'm going to enable that, and I'm going to press to click next. Here you have the option to install a few features. The PowerShell, we already have the PowerShell, and you can install the RSAT tools. So I'm going to leave that for now and press next. It's going to give us brief information about the DNS. Next. And I'm going to install. So what I'm doing now, it's doing a remote install on my Nano server, and later if I right click on my Nano server here at my server manager, I will be able to see that I have the DNS management console available for me. So let's wait for the installation to finish. After the installation finished, I can close this window. And now if I right click on my Nano server, I can see that I have the DNS manager console right here. So now if I open the DNS management console, I can see that I have the NLB-DC-01, which is my primary DC, alongside with my nlblab.com zone with all my host records here, and under that I have the NOB-DNS-01, which is my Nano server. So I'm going to expand the Nano server, and we'll see if I'll be able to open the settings on the Nano server. So here I can see that under my Nano server I have again a forward lookup zone, I have a reverse lookup zone, conditional forwarders, and nothing in it at the moment. So just for testing purposes, I'm going to set a secondary DNS zone on my Nano server and copy over my NLB lab zone. How I'm going to do this? If I go to my nlblab.com and click on properties, go to zone transfers and allow zone transfers only to the servers listed on the name servers tab, and go to the name servers tab. Here I have my DC and I'm going to add my Nano server. So it's NLB-DNS-01 resolve. It will say that the server is not authoritative for the domain, but I'm going to click OK to add that. Click apply. So it's going to set another name server record for my NLB-DNS-01, and here I'm going to right click on my Nano server, I'm going to check the properties. Here everything looks pretty much configured. So under the forward zones, forward lookup zones, I'm going to add a new zone. Click next. This is going to be a secondary zone, a copy of my NLB lab zone. Click next. It's going to be called nlblab.com. Next. And here I'm going to specify the server that I want to replicate this zone from. So I'm going to specify nlb/dc/01, and it's going to resolve that for me, and I can see that everything is green. I'm going to click next, and I'm going to click finish. So now I have the NLB lab.com zone, but as you can see it's not loading anything from me. So I'm going to transfer a new copy from the zone master, and let's see if I refresh here. It's going to take some time to refresh the, let's click transfer from master as well, click refresh. And here I have my nlblab.com zone fully transferred from my DC right here. So I can confirm that my NLB-DNS-01 Nano server, it's fully operational and running fine. So this is the quick overview of how you can configure a Nano server with the new role, which is the DNS role. I hope that you'll be able to learn something from it. Thank you very much for viewing, and if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to release future videos of how I install additional features for the Nano server, how I manage the Nano server, the new technical preview for Nano, and yep, thank you very much for viewing, and see you soon, guys.